Signal Chasers.
Hello, Internet. Welcome back to Signal Chasers. I've got, well, a couple things. First off, you may notice I'm stood on a bunch of scaffolding. So, I'm not, of course, welded it up because it's still scaffolding, but I've decided to lay out the roof of the ship, partially because I wanted to figure out if I had enough materials to build it. So I don't remember the exact math I did, there was a whole bunch of it, but I determined with the amount of blocks I placed down and how much iron goes into each block, I'll need 17,500 iron kilograms in order to build this. And if we check, we have just under 6,000. So we're going to need a lot more iron, which means going somewhere to an asteroid and get more iron. Now I figure we'll continue along our sort of plan from last time, which is to go to Mars, and instead of like asteroid instead of asteroid hopping to get there, I'm just gonna jump to Mars, or Mars-ish, and then we're gonna bounce around asteroids there, because again, my theory is that that is the best place for unknown signals. It'll put me kind of right in the middle of the more habitated areas. Now, I did learn that that trade station we found that sells ore, apparently they do change out their stock, so eventually they would have uranium. I just have to keep checking. So, I guess worst case to worst, I know I can come back here and there's a place I can go to buy fuel, but I'm hoping we can find a station near Mars that will do the same thing. So I have to do some quick math here. So I can jump 4,000 kilometers at a time. Let's try 3,000 kilometers and see how close to Mars we are. Maybe we do 2,000. We'll do a halfway jump, see how close we get, and then we can kind of wrangle it in from there. Here we go. Well, we're closer. Let's go ahead. We need to kick on our reactors. Now, the trouble here is we're getting low on uranium. I think we've got enough, probably for one more jump. How fast will these be recharged? 6 minutes. So maybe we just... I don't know. I like this asteroid up here. Let's try our hand at that and see what we got. I'll use hydrogen to save on the old power. Now, if I got real desperate, I could just drill stone for the iron I need, but I don't think I'm that desperate. Funnily enough, I have seen things as well. I've been doing a fair bit of research. Apparently, one of the better spots to get uranium is, I think it was like about 15K out from the moon. Kind of in that radius of asteroids, which I think may be where we found the little bit of uranium we did. So maybe I should have taken that as a sign to, stop and smell the uranium roses. And as we cruise towards this asteroid, I think I should say the other thing I've come to in my thinkings. So, my original plan, my original sort of pitch for this series, was to create a ship capable of hunting down strong unknown signals, probably go out and get a few, and that's victory. Well, when I weld the top of this thing, we're there. We've got a ship, it's capable of hunting down unknown signals. I'd probably... it would basically be find some uranium to fill the tanks, which I'll probably just do a time lapse of bouncing around to 50 asteroids until I find some. Then, have an episode victory lap where I just bounce around to unknown signals, any that I can find. We're pretty darn close to the end of the series, per the original concept. But I'm having fun. I don't think I'm ready to end yet. I think, so as quite literally the day I'm recording this is the day that the first episode went live. So the pressure's now up for people know I'm out here more en masse. They may start looking for me. I did already get recognized on the server. I think that was last episode. So the potential is there for me to get found by people more than I was before. And honestly, I just don't feel like it's time to end yet. So I've come up with a new idea. I've had a change of plans. In addition to all this stuff, what I want to do is build something on this server that will stay after I'm done. At least temporarily. Because, as much fun as I'm having, I don't intend... ice and nickel. That's a bust. Yeah, as much fun as I'm having, I don't intend to, stay playing on this server forever. Once this series is done, I'm probably going to go back to single player because I'm not necessarily a huge multiplayer person in general. So, I want something here that people who are watching the series will be like, oh, look at that. Here's this thing that was from the series. It probably won't last forever, because things rarely do. But I think it would be fun. So, I'm thinking what my plan is currently. We'll see how long it takes. I'm going to build a franchise of Moe's Diner, which is the sort of... What is the sun being blocked by? Oh, that asteroid I was just at. Yeah, I'm going to build a franchise of Moe's Diner, which was my sort of set piece building from Ship of the Week. Probably in Mars or Mars Moon orbit. Just kind of somewhere nice. And then broadcast from it. Yeah, set it up as a station with like a safe zone and all that junk. And then just have it there and have a little diner that people can come to and, buy drinks and dance and have a good time. So that prolongs the plans a bit. I have still the immediate goal. I need to find uranium. The jump drive's just ticked over, so that's good. Well, maybe... Let's see. See if we can spot anything on some of these local asteroids. Hopefully, before I crash into the one I'm heading towards. Don't see anything on the surface, and I'm almost on the surface. So we'll see what's in this rock, then we'll jump the rest of the way to Mars. And then I think from there, it's hunt down uranium, maybe, well, hunt down uranium and iron for finishing this, get some other resource locations, and then start setting up our station. And that'll give us some time, essentially, while I'm building the station. If I see a strong unknown signal pop up, I run to the ship, jump to it, jump back, and keep going with the station. So, that is the plan. That's a big hole in this asteroid. Also not seeing anything on it, but I kind of coasted too far away to really tell. See if we can pick anything from the detector on a quick pass, and then we'll be out of here. iron. Let's see if there's something else, because there are usually 2 things per asteroid. Iron and nickel. Not fussed. I think we try not to whack our back end on the asteroid. And also try and remember where Mars went. Where... Oh, is that... That might be Mars? No, that's the alien planet, because my unknown signal is there. Okay. So the moon's over there. There's Mars. Yeah, the space stuff is tricky. Okay. I've got an idea here. Let's aim right at that little moon. And it'll still let me jump. Well, let me jump at full power. My idea here, so you can't jump into a natural gravity well. Haha. It won't let me. So, now I know I would be jumping at the planet, or into the planet at this range, so I can roll it back until it lets me jump, and that should put me right outside of orbit. Riveting stuff. Oh. What do you know? 50% was dead on. Well, I guess that's a sign. Let's go. Okay. Well, so here we are. Looks like we've got somebody's space station here already. There's the Mars. So... guess maybe we'll go over here. Now, another thought I did have, and this was after landing on the other moon, I think I may stick a few more lifting hydrogens down below. Mainly because, well, I don't think I'm going to be able to land on a planet, and I don't think that's worth designing for. It would be handy to be able to go down to moons, especially if the stations for trading are on the surface of the moons. And it does make sense that the mining stations are going to be on the ground where the mining is. So, I think a few more thrusters down there will probably be enough. Honestly, one more might be enough that I can operate in lunar gravity, and I think I have the ability to stick 2 down there somewhere. That'll be handy, and the benefit, because, I guess that's Europa, because it is a solid cube of, well, solid sphere of ice, which, oh good, there's iron here. Nah, that's basically all fuel. So I land there, the shrimp can fly on moons, no problem, though it's pretty bad on fuel. But I literally just have to detach it. I don't even have to detach it. I could just, you know, nose the ship up, reverse into the ground, drill a bunch of ice with the miner, and there we go. So, I think all in all, it'll be a good spot to be around, and should let me, and should be relatively safe and comfortable to land on. I think what I may do here, I'm just gonna land the ship and then check all these little asteroids with my drill. Because while the large grid ore detector is a better range, it's also, you know, attached to a ship that's big and harder to maneuver. So, if I just use my little body, I should have an easier time of figuring out, scouting out what's in each asteroid, and then I can go mining. Is there anything? Maybe nothing in that one. Oh. Ooh. Okay. Dang. So there's a strong unknown signal. It's within range. I've got to wait a few minutes for the drives to charge. I think we'll wait for that, then I may go to it. Which is probably a bad idea because I don't have the uranium I need for power. So far this place is just iron. I may just mark, or actually let's check. Where's the ship? There it is. Okay, jump drive is about to be recharged. How are we doing? Okay, so we've used about 2 kilograms of uranium per reactor. That's not too bad, and this isn't a far jump. That's about half the distance we just did, and that was half of our max range, so... Okay. So we've got a GPS here. We've managed to take off, which is always good. Let's head to this signal, see if we can't get it, and then we'll come back here and do some mining. Because that is the thing with my building a space station plan. I am probably going to need a lot more iron. So, oh gee, that's actually on the other side of Earth from here. So, it is a fair way. Let's do... strong unknown signal. Head to it. Nope. Oh god, that's not on the surface of Earth, is it? Oh. That is totally on the surface of Earth. Dang it, what are the chances? I mean... So, I could jump to orbit of Earth, dive down, hope my parachute support me enough, land on a planet, get that unknown signal, and then I have to try and get off Earth. That would be some dramatic TV, but that really seems like a stupid idea. I mean, I don't know. You know, this thing is... it's not the biggest ship in the world, but it's a good size. I don't know if my one booster thruster would be enough to get me straight up. My guess is probably not. So I'd have to rig something up on the planet. I'd be stuck there for a bit. Will I even be able to get down to the surface in 9 minutes? Yeah. I'm more tempted than you could imagine to go and do that. Partially because it's such a bad idea that it would be great television. But there'll be other strong unknown signals. Again, I'm gonna be here a while. Let's be intelligent with this and not strand ourselves on a planet for God knows how many episodes until we can find a way to get off of it. And I will put it there for the record. if I thought that I could get down to the planet reliably in the time it would take, if I thought I could get down to that signal before it goes away, I'd be doing it. That just seems insane and fun. But I really just don't think that I could land in that time, and at that point, I've jumped all that way for no reason, and now I'm trapped there. Just doesn't seem worth the risk. Huh. That's interesting. My airlock isn't working on this side. Oh, because it's set to cargo filled. But that's not right. Did I only set up the one side? I may have only set up the one side and was like, oh, I'll do the other side off camera. And didn't. Okay. That one works. That one works. There we go. So, let's go and get some of this iron. Honestly, we shouldn't... One full load should be enough for the ship. So one thing I didn't calculate is how much I didn't take into account the processing from iron ore into iron. So I don't know how much ore I need to get. Half tempted to say hi, but again, I'm thinking I may have to be a little calm with things, and I don't even know if I should mention this. So I'll just say, and I'll say it because the people who would do it are probably well aware already, there is technically a way you could easily hunt me down. And it doesn't involve going through, you know, videos and looking for where I didn't cover up a GPS, which is probably going to happen when I'm editing, because I'm editing these months afterward. So, yeah, I'll leave it at that. There is a way in-game that you could do it. And if it happens, well, we'll just have to figure that out. So 42k iron, 52 with the 1,000 that was in there, or 10,000. My guess is that one load will get me what I need. Oh. Well, that's something they probably didn't want to share with the group. I guess if I need an ice asteroid, I know where to go. We've got this spot. We know that it has connection problems. We know that this has iron. Let's go ahead and take off. I'm going to turn off the reactors to save on a little bit of uranium. Now, I think we just bounce around to a few different asteroids, see what we can find here. Whoa. It may be worth heading down to the surface or near it and doing a near orbit pass to see if I can find any trade stations that might be iron, or that might sell uranium. Yeah, we almost have 15, we now have 15k iron, and I found some more iron ore, so we should be good on iron again. Let me go ahead and, yeah, that should be enough steel plate. Oh, and look, I've got some steel plate on me still. Let's go ahead and get some of this welded while we're en route. Oh, you may also notice, so these are two windows. Make sure I'm not about to ram into something. So, I realized the downside of how I designed this ship I don't have any good spots for windows in the living area. So I figured, well, I can at least have skylights. So that's what I have, is skylights. There's one on the other side too. That way I can still see out and, you know, see some space. But, yeah, one's over here. You know, it just kind of, it feels like such a waste to be in a spaceship and not be able to look outside. Especially something like this, where it's ostensibly more of a pleasure yacht than any sort of, you know, utility vessel or anything that would need to be protected. Alright, this is another one of those cluster jobs. I sort of figure these have a better chance. That looks like it might be ice or cobalt or magnesium. Oh. That's actually another ship with an antenna out there. That's different from this gunslinger. So there is definitely stuff going on around Mars. That's a good sign. But, yeah, I figure these are a better shot for finding uranium, mainly because that's where I found uranium before. But also the little small chunks are a lot easier to search than one big rock. Because I can just go up to one and, you know, my radius of detection kind of encompasses the whole asteroid. And depending on the size, I'd probably be good with just one uranium deposit. Granted, I had one uranium deposit in the last one, and it has lasted me this long, but it's not to the point that I feel confident in it, so... Ooh, that might be silver or platinum. That's a good sign, because my guess would be the uranium's going to appear with some of the more... That may also just be ice, actually. Yeah. My guess is uranium will be with all the other valuable stuff, so platinum and uranium kind of tend to clump together. I don't know that, but... Yeah, that was just ice. Yeah, that is how ores tend to work, where essentially one is... They tend to be in groupings. So, let's do a little looky-loo. Okay, so there's cobalt here. And ice. Now, usually, asteroids only have 2 things in them. But occasionally, you get asteroids with more. They can occasionally have 3. So I think it's still worth bouncing around all these. Just to see if I get lucky. This may actually be a separate asteroid spawn. Yeah, because this has nickel in it. What else do you have, strange asteroid? Aside from worm tunnels. I'm now hopelessly lost in. Well, I guess worst case scenario, if I die trapped in this asteroid, I at least will respawn on my ship. So, hopefully. Okay, I've found the nickel. Ow. It seems to be in a dark subterranean chasm. Okay, well this is unfortunate. Here are some tubey bits. Let's see where this goes. Beginning to understand why there's so many worm tunnels. Yeah, this is not how I expected my little scouting run to go. I figured this would just be a quick peek into the asteroid, see what's here. in hindsight, probably shouldn't have just gone careening down tunnels. I kind of figured I'd find another end at some point. Oh. Alright, freedom. Look at that, I even came out on the side with my ship. Let's look at this, because I don't think I did yet, and then I may just go ahead and do some welding. Okay, well this has ice. Maybe we're topping up on some ice too while I'm here. Yeah, so I think this is ice and cobalt. How much cobalt do I have? 25k. Think I'm good for cobalt. Alright. That is the last window. We are not pressurized. That's something I was afraid of. Because I'm not sure why. I have a theory or two. Let's go and check those. So. What is that block? That is on an event controller. That should be pressurized. My guess is that the refinery isn't. So I'd left this little gap open because my idea was to move the grav gen into centerline, and I was actually thinking of having a little hinged mechanism in here that would have a camera that pops out like a little periscope. I'm wondering if maybe that's not a good idea. Let's see. Let's see if this does the job. Now the other option is that I've screwed up in the many other places that could have holes in them, and therefore somewhere else in the system isn't pressurized. That could be the case. So the issue could be there with that hydrogen thruster. Could happen. And I think all this should be good. Could be something with a pipe somewhere. Could be something up front here. Let's see if this does it. If not, we'll try moving that lifting hydrogen and see what it does. Yeah. Ow. That got a little warm. So, should be able to put this... Oh. Well, I would be if I had room for it. So, the connector... So, the connector under here is behind the sort of thruster firewall. So that should be airtight. Now, this will probably mean I have to move the one above as well, because it will be on top of the tank. So we'll try this, hope it works, and if it doesn't, I may take this into a creative, or... Oh, I'll have to switch these. Yeah, I may take this blueprint into a private world where I can use build info and look for leaks. This will also mean my idea of adding secondary lift isn't probably a good one. It's one thing to... Yeah, this is on. And the room is not pressurizing. Okay, last idea, which is a bit of a pain. We won't dig into it. Well, the sun's in a real bad spot to look at it, but we have a completed ship, minus this hole. Guess I could cover that and see if that does it. And we'll do some calculations and then figure out what's going on. But yeah, completed ship. We have plans for a little bit more to do. And I guess a lot of strong unknown signals to find. So yeah, thank you everybody so much for watching. Feel free to become a member with that join button if you feel it in your heart to support the nonsense I do. Yeah, until next week. Bye bye.